The 4th of July is right around the corner, and what is more America than a movie showing Washington, D.C. getting completely butt-fucked? White House Down. So White House Down is the second White House invasion, holy shit, Washington DC's under attack by bad guys movie to come out in 2013. This one's directed by Roland Emmerich. He's brought us Independence Day, Godzilla, Day After Tomorrow, 2012, to name a few. Yeah, elephant in the room, so I'm gonna address it. White House Down is the same premise of Olympus Has Fallen. So I'm gonna compare a couple things, but I'm not gonna get too obnoxious about it. In White House Down, our main protagonist is Channing Tatum, this likable guy who's having father-daughter issues with his daughter, who's the little kid who crawled out of the pit in The Dark Knight Rises. He wants to be a Secret Service agent, but he doesn't quite have what it takes. He has untapped potential. So Secret Service Maverick goes to the White House with his daughter, and on that particular day, he's told, no, you're not going to be a Secret Service agent. However, all these bad dudes are going to invade the White House, giving Channing Tatum the perfect opportunity to prove what he's worth. Jamie Foxx is the president in this movie. I like Jamie Foxx as the president. You got this young, well-spoken, good-talking president guy. You're like, okay, he's likable. Don't know much about him. Don't know if I'd vote for him, but I have no reason to not vote for him. Dude wears sneakers with his suit, you know, right there. That's vote-worthy. And then we have ourselves a Roland Emmerich movie. Roland Emmerich movies, they're entertaining, but a lot of them suffer from the same thing, is that they're just bloated. I was looking through Roland Emmerich's filmography. Most of them can have 20 to 30 minutes shaved right off. The setup in this movie is Channing Tatum's bringing his daughter to the White House for Bring Your Daughter to Work Day or some shit. Oh, here comes a comparison. Take Olympus Has Fallen, for example. The beginning of the movie has this death that happens that affects the lives of two of the main characters. That sticks with you, and that's interesting, and that's gonna keep you warm until the shit really hits the fan later on. This movie doesn't have anything like that to get you engaged with the characters. There's no death, there's no tragedy, there's just father-daughter issues that they talk about while they're driving a car, and you're like, yeah, right, that's not the same. And yeah, the natural defense for this is, well, those are character building moments, but they're not really. Don't mistake boring scenes with character development. You can do character development, have it done interesting, and keep you engaged with the characters, or at least get you to initially care about the characters, and you can do that all with dialogue if you want, but just don't make it boring. Roland Emmerich movies, generally speaking, just make it uninteresting. Hey, Matthew Broderick, that's cool that you had an ex-girlfriend in college or whatever, but we really came for Godzilla. I thought Jamie Foxx and Channing Tatum worked really well together. They were good. So it's not the performances that are bad, it's just the directing and the writing. And every character in this movie has their cartoony moments. It'd be one thing if you had a couple of characters that were comic relief, but the rest of everyone else is still grounded in reality. But everyone in this movie has a cartoony moment or two. Long drawn out setup and cartoony villains don't really mix. They're just conflicting messages within a movie that makes you go, what am I watching? Who made this movie? It's that weird Michael Bay humor that Roland Emmerich has also, where you're like, it just takes you out of it, and you're like, none of it is grounded in reality at that point. You need an anchor in a movie like this, and no one's really an anchor. So basically, White House Down had boring dialogue scenes that were supposed to be character development scenes, but it's not what you came to see, and you don't care because the movie doesn't do a good job at making you care because you don't connect with the characters. Then the shit's going down, you're like, I'm sorry, I didn't care before, so I'm not gonna care now that bullets are flying. And some of you will be like, but Jeremy, you can still take this movie as a mindless action movie. A movie that's supposed to be a mindless action movie shouldn't be any deeper than a mindless action movie. They're supposed to be fun. And that's true, but this movie isn't just a mindless action movie. It took a half an hour in the beginning of this movie to establish that this is gonna be more than a mindless fun action movie. So sadly, you can't go back and rewind that and undo its failed attempt at being deeper than a fun mindless action movie. The movie can only press forward and be what it really is. A failed attempt at being more than a fun mindless popcorn action movie. In the end, for White House Down, I'm gonna say it's alright, but you're not gonna remember it in T-minus a couple days. Yep, already forgot. Alright, so Olympus Has Fallen or White House Down? Which one do you prefer? I want to see if some people prefer this to Olympus Has Fallen. Whichever one you prefer, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.